So talking about the diseases of the spinal cord, the first spinal cord injuries. The spinal cord injuries, depending on the severity, can be complete transection. Transection means division of the spinal cord or damage of the spinal cord due to some sudden injury. So it can be complete transection. It can be incomplete transection when the spinal cord is injured severely but some tracts are intact. And hemisection means transection of one side of the spinal cord and other is intact. The causes of transection of spinal cord can be gunshot injuries or dislocation of the spine or occlusion of the blood vessel. These causes can lead to all the three types of transection: complete transection, incomplete transection and hemisection, depending on the site and severity of the injury. And the commonest site involved is at the mid-thoracic region. So whenever there is a transection of spinal cord, the clinical stages are these three: stages of spinal shock, stage of reflex activity and stage of reflex failure. These three stages are common to all the three types of transactions. Stage of spinal shock occurs immediately after the injury and the person feels as if the body has been divided into two parts. The body part above the injury is okay, but below the body it feels like the parts are not functioning. So in spinal shock, there is cessation of all the activities below the level of section and it occurs immediately after the injury. Then depending on the site of injury, if the injury occurs in the cervical region, then it is fatal. Why? Because all the respiratory muscles are also paralyzed. So due to respiratory failure, it becomes fatal. Duration of spinal shock in humans is 3 weeks. In lower animals, the duration of spinal shock is less because of less dependence of the body and the spinal cord on the brain. But in evolved individual like humans, our body is more dependent on brain, that is more encephalization is there. So the duration of spinal shock is 3 weeks. When the transaction occurs at C5, it is fatal. Below C5, quadriplegia, that means both the upper limb and the lower limb are paralyzed. When the lesion occurs between cervical and the lumbosacral enlargement, then paraplegia, that means both the lower limbs, the legs are paralyzed. Loss of tone and areflexia, that means loss of reflexes. Sensory, all the sensations below the level of transection are lost. The thoracolumbar sympathetic nerve supply to the blood vessels, which are mainly vasoconstrictor in nature. They come out at the level of thoracolumbar region, T1 to L2 region. So if transaction occurs from T1 to L2, there will be sharp fall in blood pressure, and this fall in blood pressure is more when it is more towards T1 and it is less when the lesion is more towards L2. So rapid fall of blood pressure occurs when the lesion occurs between T1 to L2. Below L2, if lesion is there, then there is no vasomotor effect, that there is no autonomic effect, no fall in BP. So when the lesion is in thoracolumbar region, there will be sharp fall in BP. Along with that, cold and blue extremities will be there and skin will be dry, scaly and bad sores develop very easily. So when the extremities are cold, so you should not use hot water pads or bottles to heat the extremities, because when you do so, there will be injuries or bad sores will develop. There will be loss of all the visceral sensation. Bladder, bowel will be paralyzed. There will be retention of urine and constipation. Penis will be flaccid, and all the visceral sensations like gripping and distension of the viscera like intestine will not be appreciated. After around 3 weeks, when the patient survives the stage of spinal shock, then the stage of reflex activity occurs. This is also known as stage of recovery. Some of the reflex activity begin to appear on some isolated segments of the spinal cord below the injury. First of all, the smooth muscle tone comes first. So the smooth muscles become functional first, and that too, the very first muscle to regain its function is urinary bladder, leading to reflex evacuation. Later on, reflex defecation occurs. After that, sympathetic tone of the blood vessels is regained, leading to normalization of the blood pressure, and now the skin again becomes moist and bed sore, which were present in the stage of spinal shock. Now they heal. Skeletal muscles take longer to recover, and their recovery occurs only after 3 to 4 weeks. And the activity first appears in the flexors of the muscle, flexors of the limb, leading to paraplegia and flexion. The flexor muscles become less hypotonic compared to extensor, so there is flexion, paraplegia and flexion. Man, that is the person having the spinal injury, the limbs cannot support the weight of the body, but the attitude of the limb is in flexion. There is no wasting seen in the muscles because though the muscles are paralyzed for voluntary movement, there is still a constant reflex activity at the level of spinal segments. So wasting of muscle does not occur in these lesions. Then the last are the reflexes to appear. First reflex to appear is the flexor reflex, the Babinski reflex. Later on, knee jerk, ankle jerk and mass reflex occur in this order. So mass reflex means whenever there is scratching of the skin of the inner side of the thigh or the anterior abdominal wall, then there is spasm of the flexor muscles of the leg. Both the legs are flexed, along with evacuation of bladder and bowel and profuse sweating. This is known as mass reflex, and these patients, they elicit this mass reflex to control their bowel and bladder. Most of the patients recover in the stage of recovery or the stage of reflex activity, but some of the patients whose general condition is not good, if they have malnutrition or infection or septicemia, then in these conditions there is stage of reflex failure, which can be seen as the reflexes become difficult to elicit, then the threshold for stimulus also increases, then mass reflex is abolished and the muscles start becoming flaccid and wasting of muscles occur. In incomplete transection of spinal cord, the causes remaining the same as complete transection. In incomplete, the injury is severe, but some of the tracts escape transection and remain intact. The stages of the incomplete transection are similar to the complete transection. First will be stage of spinal shock, when all the motor, sensory, reflexes and vasomotor and visceral activities will be lost. Then is the stage of reflex activity. The stage of reflex activity is similar to that occurring in the complete transection with some differences. And these differences are that tone first appears in the extensor muscles first and not in the flexors, leading to paraplegia and extension in incomplete transection. This is how you differentiate incomplete transection from complete transection. Other differences are extensor reflexes appear first, and these extensor reflexes are Philipson's reflex, extensor thrust reflex, crossed extensor reflex, and one major difference is mass reflex cannot be elicited in incomplete transection of the spinal cord. The main reason for these differences with the complete transection is that some of the descending tracts escape injury, and these tracts are especially those lying in the lateral white matter, especially the vestibulospinal tract and the reticulospinal tract. So these tracts are controlling the low motor neurons, and as these tracts are facilitatory to the extensor muscles, so the extensor tone is coming first and the extensor reflexes are appearing first, and hence mass reflex cannot be elicited because some of the control is there from the brainstem, so local reflex cannot be produced. So the complications in patients with spinal cord injury, any type of spinal cord injury, can be due to immobilization of the patient. When the person is paraplegic or quadriplegic, he remains lying in the bed for long and there occurs negative nitrogen balance, and the following complication occurs. These are the decubitus ulcer or the postural ulcer. This occurs due to compression of the blood vessels of the skin which are overlying the bony prominences. So जो हड्डियों के वाली जो स्किन है, हड्डियों के जस्ट ऊपर वाली स्किन जो दब रही है वजन से, वहाँ पे ब्लड सप्लाई कम हो जाती है एंड अल्सर्स डेवलप, and then these ulcers become secondarily infected. So these are known as decubitus ulcer or postural ulcer. Then hypercalcemia, hypercalciuria and calcium stones occurs due to prolonged immobilization leads to prolonged this breakdown of proteins and demineralization of the bones. Then urinary stresses occurs because of maybe because of the catheter or because of the irregular bladder habits. It will lead to urinary tract infection. Then later on septicemia occurs, uremia occurs, coma and even death occurs due to secondary infections, mostly lung infections or urinary tract infections.